Wave. Welcome to We're Bulldogs champs. We are champs. Fresno State baseball won the Mountain West Championship this past weekend. We're going to talk about it. We're your hosts, Caleb Nail, Caleb Pletz, Mr. Pletz. How are you, my friend?
Caleb, it's a great day to be a Bulldog. What a roller coaster weekend for a Fresno State baseball team, but a lot of fun and some exciting games, and just very exciting. Plus, it's holiday weekend too, Memorial Day, so nice to have a little bit of time off, and definitely thankful to live in a country where we're free because of a lot of people who serve for us. So, a lot to be thankful for this weekend.
Yes, happy Memorial Day. Hope you enjoyed your day off. I sure did. I don't get to do this often. This is actually the first time I've ever done it. I went golfing with my brothers and my brother-in-law. So,
all right,
little guys, family trip. We are terrible. What we learned today is we are terrible. We never golf. We never golf.
Where'd you play?
Riverside.
Okay.
It was tough. We played best ball, the four of us. And what do you think we shot? I'll tell you our score, but
97.
Okay, well, we didn't do the numbers, and I'm not good at math, but we shot 17 over.
Okay. Then that's 89.
Okay, I can live with that.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that tells you our skill. Best ball out of 4 players, we shot 17 over. We had a lot of fun, though. It was great.
Good.
How are you spending your Memorial Day?
It was a low-key day, which was nice. I went on a walk with my wife and my son this morning, and just kind of relaxed today, which was good. I got a new barbecue grill this weekend, so I had to assemble it though. Like, it came in pieces, so it took about an hour and a half on Saturday to put together. But overall, it was a good weekend, and it feels like summer is kind of kicking off here with the weather warming up, which is nice.
And I tell you what, today is especially fun because of what happened over the weekend. This had to be the most fun I've had watching the game of baseball probably since 2008 in the span of 3 days. We'll talk about it. First off, welcome in. I didn't go through the everything that I need from you guys. Follow us, Twitter, X, beware_Bulldogs, YouTube, Beware of Bulldogs, and we go live Mondays at 7 p.m. So hop in the chat, let us know. I see some of you in here already. Comment. If you're on X, you have to have a blue check mark. Not my rule, Elon's rule, to comment. So I see Bulldogs Bob is here. Good evening, Red Wave. Hope we all had a fun Memorial Day weekend. Took the time to remember America's fallen heroes. Yes, we did. And I was, so one of the things I got to do this morning, I was praying for the families that lost family members over throughout war. And I was looking, do you know, Caleb, that there were more 19-year-olds killed for the United States than any other age group? 19. That's younger than me. That's insane. Like, those guys are men. They went and sacrificed for our country. And that's the ultimate sacrifice, so that I could be a dad and I can talk about sports. So that's I'll always remember them and appreciate the families and what they sacrifice as well. So thank you. If you have anyone that has lost their life or is serving or has served, thank you. Gilbert's here. I keep hearing San Diego State might get picked up from the ACC with Utah. You think we'll be in that conversation? I have not heard this. That's crazy. I think that we are in the conversation for the Big 12.
I did see a tweet, or I don't know, what do you call a post on X now? Is it still a tweet? I saw a tweet today about Utah being mentioned regarding the Atlantic Coast Conference. But I didn't see anything about San Diego State. I mean, I guess it would make more sense, or it would make sense for them to pick up some additional schools out west just for, I guess, easier scheduling for Cal and Stanford. But to see Fresno State be added into that would be extremely doubtful, considering Cal and Stanford's distaste for Fresno State, I guess, we can say. And, I think the ACC is considered a, higher tier academic conference. So I don't know if they would even, consider Fresno State, considering they're not a tier 1 academic school. So I would doubt it. But I mean, it would make sense for them if they're trying to make themselves, a super conference too, like, the SEC and the Big Ten, with, increasing in numbers. So I doubt it, but it would make sense.
Yeah. Who knows what happens with the ACC? There's rumors, as Bob's saying, Florida State and Clemson are going to the SEC. Mm-hmm. And I know Miami wants out. I've seen rumors of that. So they may not be around much longer. And then what's going to happen is we're going to go back to what we've always done. I don't know. I come from the farming world, and it goes like this all the time. So, all right, Caleb, huge weekend. Let's talk baseball. Fresno State. Oh, well, back up just a little bit. When the tournament first started, you and I talked, I think it was Friday on the drive home, in the car. So that was audio only. So that was not up on YouTube. But so we talked about it. We're not really going to touch too much because, man, just so much happened that they all kind of blend together. The New Mexico game, really starting to forget what happened there. But we lost to Air Force first game. So immediately we go into the losers bracket. We had to win out, and we did that. We beat New Mexico. Then we played Air Force again, and that's where we will start today. They beat Air Force 10-3, 17 hits for the Dogs. They jumped out to a lead in the second, extended in the third. Our pitching was magnificent, even in the first Air Force game. And then against New Mexico, and then this Air Force game, Noah Beal started. He went 7 1/3, 7 hits, 3 runs, 12 strikeouts. I think our starters had like a little over 30 strikeouts in those first 3 games. It was insane. And then Bryce Armstrong came in, and then Caleb Anderson finished the game. He pitched 1 inning. But okay, let's talk about pitching. Let's just generalize it over the weekend. So we played Air Force. Noah Beal got the start there. Then the first game against San Jose State, it was Anchor who got the start. He went 3 1/3. He pitched 4 innings, gave up 3 earned, 5 runs, 3 earned, 3 strikeouts. It's okay. Jacob Acosta came in. And then Victor, actually, I was watching this game. I thought they should have pulled Jack probably a little bit earlier. It's okay. But Vic Ariola, great job pitching. And then the second San Jose State game, which was technically like the championship game, Dixon started that, didn't have a good start, went 1 1/3, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned, 2 strikeouts. Then we saw Acosta come in. He got the win. Statzer, Cremarosa, and Hopfy. So a lot of bullpen action in that game, which we knew was going to happen. But the first 3 games, Caleb, stunning from the mound, and a lot of help throughout the rest of the game. Like, we didn't get the Dixon that we got earlier in the week. We didn't get the Anchor that we've had earlier in the year. But pitching in general was awesome.
Totally. This was pretty much everything happened in this championship tournament that needed to happen for Fresno State. So getting 3 solid starts, in the first 3 games, even though game 1 didn't go our way, I mean, that was a huge confidence boost, I think, for Dixon and the whole team, just to say, like, hey, we still, definitely belong here. And yeah, like we mentioned on Friday, Jake Riding, huge performance, and Noah Beal. I mean, that was maybe one of the best outings of his Bulldog career. And it seemed like he was like really wanting to go complete game there, pitching into the 8th inning, going 7 1/3. But he really had his best stuff, and just made it work. A lot of strikeouts, and I think that game was also huge because it kind of got the Air Force monkey off our back, and it just seemed like the Dogs needed that win to, I guess, solidify that they can win this conference. And the New Mexico game, not to say it was an easy win, because all these games were a grind, but the Air Force and San Jose, I think, were definitely a different caliber of opponent compared to New Mexico. So to get the win over Air Force was huge, and it helped that the offense was there too. So putting up 10 runs was really helpful. Making it comfortable for the pitching staff, and then. Yeah, holy smokes! What a Saturday night and Sunday it was for offense. Jack Anchor, I think he really did his best out there to try to get some to try to eat up innings, because at that point that's really what we're trying to do. And it was kind of a limited bullpen here that Overland was working with. But like you mentioned, Vic Ariola, amazing performance, 4 shutout innings out of the pen. And then Jacob Acosta too, over 2 games. So the 1 2/3 on Saturday night, and then a really big 3 2/3 out of the pen on Sunday. So between this really solid long relief and really good starting pitching on the front end, I mean, it went pretty much as well as we could have expected. And just to defend Dixon a little bit, I mean, on Sunday, maybe they were asking him to go once through the order, because on pitching on 2 days rest after going deep into the game on Thursday, I mean, that was a gutty performance. So just the fact that he got 4 outs, I think, was big. And then credit to Acosta for stepping up, because that was a huge performance from him. So overall, I mean, this is what you need in postseason baseball. Is you need to have these experienced guys come up big. And Aiden Cremarosa had some big innings earlier. I think he gave up. Was he the one that gave up the grand slam on the last game? But thankfully the bats were there. So I don't know if you want to transition into offense now or go game by game, whatever. But
no, let's transition to offense. I think I did want to bring up the point though, and I touched on it in the live stream. We did a little live stream watch party during the entire last game against San Jose State, which thank you guys for tuning in. The ones that you did, we had a blast. It was a lot of fun, or at least I did. The pitching was the topic of conversation this entire year, and it was centered around, can we be consistent? Not sure what we're going to get. Then we get to when it matters, and they were lights out. Absolutely love it. On the live stream, and it's on YouTube, so you could go back and watch it. I believe it's on X as well. I had Steve Hosey on, and he was talking about these guys, and he was saying, we are built for the tournament. Which you look at our team, you look at our pitching staff, and the bullpen, and our guys in the lineup at the plate, we really are. We can, especially when our offense is on fire like it has been or was this past weekend. So let's talk about the bats, Caleb. I mean, Murph Gray had one hell of a Saturday. That was a great Saturday for Murph. And, we've been talking about how we want to see a little more from Murph, a little more. Guys got their number, to throwing and breaking, a lot of low breaking balls or sliders away, and he's chasing them, or he's grounding out. He can't connect. What I noticed on Saturday is a lot of the guys, not just Murph, but most of the guys, were sitting on everything. They were attacking in a certain zone. They were going for it. But other than that, they weren't reaching for anything. They looked very disciplined. That was the word I used last week, was we need to be a little bit more disciplined if we want to make a run. I thought they were very disciplined. And we got ahead in counts. I mean, we had some huge walks. Murph had one. I believe it was Stransky had a big walk in the first game. They were very disciplined at the plate. And then, Sunday, they just let loose. And it was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I think talking about Murph and just play discipline in general, I think I know that Leffler highlighted this on the radio broadcast, but I think it bears repeating that, just the long at bats that they were able to have, and just having like a 10 or 12 pitch at bat where they're just fouling off pitches. I mean, that's what gets to the bullpen and gets the starter out of here. So there's a lot of those crucial at bats that a handful of the guys had. But I think one of the biggest parts of the offensive explosion here was getting production from the bottom of the lineup. I mean, you have a guy like Michael McKernan who offensively not a great year overall, but I mean, he was the catalyst for a couple of these like big rallies, 2-out double to kind of break things open to start the hit train going. And I mean, even hitting the home run too. So I think that guys like him and Justin Stransky stepping up as designated hitter because the Dogs were without Rocco because he was hurt. And I mean, Stransky had a heck of a weekend too. I mean, that kid, he just turned it on and he was fired up. He's swinging hard and making really good contact. So, the future's looking bright with Stransky because, I mean, he's kind of penciled in as he's going to be the starting catcher next year with, once Davis runs out of eligibility. So, like that was huge. And
Was Stransky the one on Cycle Watch, or was that McKernan the last game?
That was Stransky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think getting the production at the bottom of the order was huge. And we saw, I mean, the usuals like Tommy Hoffey, solid. Murph, like you mentioned, solid. Grady Morgan, I mean, what a really strong senior performance. I mean, he's crushing balls, playing excellent defense too, and it's just overall like the team just they just produced, and it's like all these things that we've been calling for this whole year, and it happened. So yeah, we're really happy for this team and for Coach Overland too, because I don't know, hopefully everyone got a chance to listen to his post game interview with Paul Leffler. I know that they archive all their stuff, so if you haven't, I'd recommend you go listen to it because it was a really insightful interview, and he was like very candid and like with kind of reflecting on the season, getting up to that point. Like you usually don't hear it from coaches, where he said, maybe I made some calls this season that I shouldn't have, or stuck with guys too long and was stubborn and didn't make changes. And so like to hear that kind of reflection from a coach is kind of rare. But you could also feel like a sense of relief from him. And, maybe some of the interviews leading up, understandably so, just, stressed out and, just feeling the pressure. But it was a really, really good interview because like he was appreciative and, just loves this team. And it seems like the team really loves him too. I know there was, some good, player support and former player support on X after the game. So, hopefully this is kind of the silencer for the Overland haters out there. Just that this team fought back and won the conference championship. And it did take some actual managing of the game to make it happen. Like this was not just roll the ball out and, these guys will make it happen. There was definitely some strategy that went into this. So a lot of credit to Coach Overland for making this happen.
It was so fun to watch. I still haven't met Overland. I've talked to people that are good friends with him, and they all absolutely love him. They would take a bullet for him, and you see how the boys react around him and what they say about him. And like you mentioned, former players on X say, "Oh man, I'm a huge fan. I never met the guy. Huge fan. Listen to interviews and watched him coach. That's it. Huge fan." So really excited for him, the staff, the boys. They deserve it, man. They, we entered as the 4 seed, but we were the 1 seed the entire year, other than the last game of the season. So, so you could argue, there were expectations for this team going into the weekend, and they lived up to them. So props to those guys, man. It was so fun. I keep saying on social media and everything, I had so much fun watching them. Let's get to the red wave really quick. It's moving and we're falling behind. Claire, comment again. It's not popping up here. If you're in the chat, comment again. A reason why the Bulldogs won was the pitching. Even in the last game, the pitching held on long enough for the bats to win it. Okay, let's talk about the last game really quick. I agree with Bob. We were up 16-3 in the 7th or the 6th.
Yeah, that was after 6.
Okay. So after 7 would have been over, mercy rule. They go on to score. All of a sudden, it's 16-11. And I got to say something. I got to tell a story here. We're watching the live stream. And the entire time, they're saying, Caleb, don't say anything. You'll jinx it. Because I guess that's what I'm known for now is I jinx everything. So, I've learned keeping my mouth shut. Well, Steve texted me. Steve Hosey came on, then left because I told you this is over. We're up 16-3. There's no way they're scoring 10 runs. And all of a sudden it's 16-11. And I thought I was going to get mobbed by everybody in the chat. And they wanted a piece of Steve as well. And I almost had to call Steve back and say, Steve, look what you've done. I was starting to sweat a little bit, Caleb. I'm not going to lie. But no, it was a lot of fun. And the pitching did well enough to keep that lead and let our boys swing the bats. We did go quiet there at the end of the game, but gosh, it was fun. I just wanted to tell that story really quick. If we did lose, I would have to have a long conversation with Steve. Long one.
Yeah, maybe. I mean the Sunday game, you can definitely say pitching was running on fumes towards the end. You know, after Acosta left, it was limping to the finish line. But like we mentioned, thankfully the offense had put up a huge number, and it was too much for San Jose State to overcome. And I do want to back up one game because one individual player that we should mention who I don't think we've mentioned at all this year, but Sky Collins coming in the 9th inning and hitting a 2-run single just to extend the lead. Dogs were already up 6-5. That was after huge Murph double to clear the bases and tie the game at 5. But to get those extra 2 runs and especially for a guy, I think that was his first hit of the season. I mean, basically just came in pinch run and I played a little defense. I don't even know how many at-bats he had the whole year, but to come in and first pitch just rip it up the middle, no doubt that was a huge spark and a little more comfort for the Dogs to close it out in the bottom of the inning.
Yeah, it was fun. That was a great hit. Bulldogs Bob adds, Jack Anchor was pitching well until the umpire decided to not call any strikes for him.
True.
We'll say the umps were very inconsistent, as they always are. Easiest job in the world. Can be wrong and nobody cares. Just like what's the guy's name in the MLB? Is it Angel Hernandez?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's the best.
Hang on. One more thing just on umpiring. I mean, what's your opinion on the instant replay? Because honestly, like I hated it, and like it's like not baseball, and like obviously like we're kind of getting back into baseball, and it's so frustrating, and it just kills the momentum of the game. And obviously, it's important if a call is maybe getting overturned in your team's favor, but I mean, pretty much all the calls on the field, like I never really thought, oh, that like was blatantly wrong. It was like, man, they're all bang bang plays, and this is just baseball. Like it happens. The ump's gonna make a call, and you're just gonna have to live with it. So, just with how frequently they were having to review these plays was frustrating. So I don't know. What's your take on the reviews?
I mean, I like it because we all make mistakes. And did they call Murph out on his really nice slide? This is, I think, was it against Air Force? Or I think it was Air Force.
Yeah, game. I think that was in the first game.
Yeah, the first game. Okay. Yeah. Did they call him out and then they reviewed it and called him safe? For things like that. I like and that's what it's there for. But I agree with you. It took them way too long. Too long. And I made a comment during the live stream, which I thought, and I think it's funny. You can tell me what you think. All 4 umps are standing in a circle with their arms crossed, waiting for someone else to give them the verdict and they're just standing there. Like they look like Secret Service bodyguards, just doing nothing, just standing there. We're paying these guys to do this? What? One thing that I thought they did miss, even the replays, and it was actually for San Jose State. Their guy was coming home and he slid. I thought he was safe.
Oh, yeah. He definitely looked safe.
Yeah, they called him out. They went to the booth and they still called him out. And I believe it was because they didn't have enough evidence. Mm-hmm. And thank goodness the Mountain West doesn't have state-of-the-art cameras, because to me, I thought he was safe. And even after watching the replay, I thought he was safe. But anyways, that's beside the point. So I guess replay doesn't even matter. Okay, I'm falling behind. Bulldogs Bob, don't forget Justin Stransky filling in for Rocco. Huge. I think Rocco did he get 2 at-bats? I saw 2 at-bats spread out over a couple games.
Yeah, I know he struck out in his first appearance, and then I can't remember if he pinch hit in the second to last game or not.
He did. I don't remember what happened. I know the first at bat he chucked the bat into the opposing team's dugout.
I think he grounded out. I think he was up with the bases loaded, I think, and then he grounded out, and I think he grounded out to home. And then that's how Sky Collins ended up in the game.
Okay. Just a question. If the Dogs are playing next Monday in the deciding game in the regional, will it be a live stream or a podcast like tonight?
Ooh.
Man, that's a tough one. Okay, so here's what's going. Next weekend, I am going on a camping trip with my father-in-law. So I will not – well, it's Monday. If the Dogs are playing next Monday, then I'll do a live stream. Yeah, I'll be around.
Okay.
Yeah, but I will be gone this weekend. I'll be in the mountains with my father-in-law. I can't bail on him. He might kill me. So
it sounds like you need to get like a satellite radio or something, so that way you can tune into Paul's broadcast.
Yeah. Or I don't know if you can watch it on 2x speed on the Mountain West app, but when I get back, I'll be racing through everything before the pod.
Well, unfortunately, I mean that's the last Mountain West broadcast for the season, because the games going forward are going to be on ESPN Plus. So,
then we can do that. I can do it.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's ESPN Plus. Never mind. Dang it, I don't have that. That San Jose State player was eating his Wheaties. Yes, I think I know who you're talking about. Hunter Duro.
Mm-hmm.
He was at 4 for 4 at one point, just crushing everything that came his way. I did not like that guy. Did he have the career record for home runs at San Jose?
I think so. And I mean, Fresno State's been kind of on the losing end of like home run records. I know the last series against the Air Force, the guy Jay Thomason, I think is his name. He set the Mountain West Conference record for career home runs, and then giving up 4 jacks to this guy in one game. I mean, that's got to be some sort of record. So yeah, thankfully, Dogs still won the game. So that would have been extra big blow if that ended up being the difference and the Dogs losing. But yeah, that was a crazy performance, and I think they said on the broadcast that he's the San Jose home run leader, which would make sense.
Yeah, 4 home runs in the game, insane. But I should say, Stransky homered, Hopfe homered, Blanford homered immediately after, went back to back. So we had 3, I believe, that game.
Mm-hmm.
Then about everyone had an RBI. It seemed like. Actually, I can tell you, McKernan is the only one that didn't have an RBI. Davis had 4, Stransky had 4, Murph had 1, Hopfe had 2, Blanford had 2, Newton had 1. Everybody except McKernan. And I will say, what I liked about Eddie? There was an at bat Eddie took, and he bunted it down the first. It wasn't really down the first baseline. It was just to the right of the first baseman, but he hit it hard so that they both had to crash. The pitcher and the first baseman had to crash. Second baseman couldn't get there, and the pitcher wasn't quick enough to get to it either, and he was safe. And he had been struggling this whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's huge for Eddie. I really like that. Whoever called that, if it was Eddie's choice or if that was Ovi or whoever telling him, Coach, if it was Richie, that great call. Big fan of that.
Yeah, definitely.
A 30-second time limit, Bob says, for replays. I agree. Kevin, thank you for tuning in. It's my pleasure to host. You guys make it way too easy on me, especially when there's a glass of wine involved. We got revenge against Air Force San Jose State, especially sweet after what San Jose State did to us on our field last year and this season. I hated watching the commercial. Every commercial break, they would show San Jose State celebrating the Mountain West Championship on our diamond. Did not like that. Glad it's over. Now San Diego State can deal with us winning it on their place. They were chirping towards our guys in Fresno this year. I was there at that game. I think we brought it up. Awful. Hated it. My 1-year-old learned lots of 4-letter words that day, and I it's just another reason to hate San Jose State. Can't stand them. There was a pitcher even chirping this past game. Dude, scoreboard. You're down 16-3. Be quiet. What are you doing? Yeah, you struck out a guy. Whatever. Yeah.
Actually, a funny thing. I need to give my wife credit for like teaching my son well, because we were kind of in and out watching the game, and we were up big, and my wife turns to my son and says, like, Nolan, San Jose State, they only have half a football stadium, so like kind of insulting them with that. Half of their stands is just a grass berm. So I thought that was kind of a funny burn by my wife.
I like it. I love the energy, man. All right. Yeah, no, Kevin brought up, I brought up the commercial. Kevin says, well said. I don't know if you saw the commercials, Kev. I want to get your point, but we were roasting the commercials. They played the San Jose State commercial every time. I think I saw the Fresno State commercial every so often. Every time, San Jose State. They bragged about their national championships that they've won. They won like 20 national championships or 10 national championships or something like that. And like fencing and boxing and whatever. And then, anyways, that's besides the point. It was a terrible commercial. Not fun. Anyways, any thoughts on the commercials?
Yeah, I can't decide if I'd rather have some variety with the commercials or just have the same 4 that play every time.
Yeah. Hey, I will say I like the one with Mountain West pairing with somebody, they're partnering with someone, and they had a guy talking about happiness while they're showing different clips. I liked the speech that was going on behind it. I thought it was good. I thought it was well said, whoever they used. But anyways, other than that, we are champions, and I can't complain too much.
So quick, let's go over, because Fresno State had several players named to the all-tournament team. Let's see, New Mexico is the only team that did not have an all-tournament finisher. So the dogs on the team, Murph Gray, who is also tournament MVP, Jacob Acosta, Noah Beal, Tommy Hopv, Jake Riding, and Justin Stransky all named to the all-tournament team. So very much well-deserved for all those guys.
I want to add, I text Holly, who is the SID for baseball. So she's our hookup. Great gal. I said, hey, Holly, I'd love to have, some of the guys on, or a couple. Let's talk with them and celebrate. And she just texted me back. Hey, she said, I talked with the boys and they decided as a team that they want to hold off on any podcasts or extra media until the season is over. I like the guys even more. How could you not like these guys? Like, hey, don't bother us. We're focusing. And that's how we've kind of rolled this entire time. We try not to bother them in season. We want them to focus. But this past year, I realized you guys want to hear from them. So I got to get on it. So I send out a text as quickly as I can. But to hear that the guys are focused, hey, and we're going to get to the regional in a second, who we're playing against. I am all for it. I actually prefer that. And God, I fell in love with this team this year, and it makes me like them even more. So I'm all about it. And you didn't know that, Kale. You heard that for the first time. So there you go. Murph Gray arrived this weekend And yeah, he went to Madera South.
South.
Yes. What do you guys think will happen this weekend at UC Santa Barbara? So just so that everyone knows, the regional that we were put in is the UC Santa Barbara region with UC Santa Barbara, who is, fun fact, 25-0 at home this year. They've never lost. So it's us, UC Santa Barbara. I think they're the 14 seed.
Yep.
I believe. Oregon. I hate Oregon. Would love to get a shot at them and beat them. And San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Is it UC San Diego?
No, University of San Diego Toreros.
See, I don't even care. I should learn. I should care. USD.
Yep.
It was way too much for me to go to school there. I didn't even consider it. I only considered one school. That was Fresno State.
That's right.
One of your favorites is there, Caleb, the Oregon Quackers. Yep. I got a joke that I say you can't spell dumb without ducks. Dumb F word without ducks. That's what I say. It's a family friendly show, so I don't want to cuss yet. I'm not fired up enough yet. If we lose, I might say something to Oregon. If we win, I might say something to the Oregon fans. I'd love to. But tough region. San Diego, Santa Barbara, Oregon, all very good schools, very good teams. So we got to be ready to go. We play Santa Barbara first. Mm-hmm. So we get a crack at the team that's undefeated at home. I'd love to give them their first loss. What are your thoughts, Caleb, on this weekend in this region?
Well, starting pitching is going to have to bring it again. Just looking at some of the numbers for Santa Barbara, I mean, they have some really impressive pitching stats and pitchers in general. So Bulldogs are going to have to match them and keep it tight, and hopefully the offense continues to keep it going. So kind of interesting. I know I was reading that I guess their stadium only holds 1,000 people, so it's gonna be a tight environment there. I'm sure there's gonna be a good turnout with San Diego drivable, local Santa Barbara, Fresno drivable. So it might be a tough ticket to get into this tournament, but it's gonna need to be another performance like we just saw from the pitching staff of pitching lights out and keeping it close and having solid long relief out of the pen, if needed. So I think that has to be the difference, because we're going to get the best stuff from Santa Barbara and then whoever we face after. So Dogs pitching is going to have to keep up.
Yep. The bats will stay hot, I'm sure. Oh, they said we're going to hit until 5 p.m. That was what they were saying throughout the Mountain West tournament. We're going to hit until Sunday at 5 p.m. Well, that has extended. They're going to hit through until this ends. So we're going to score runs. Not worried about it. You're right. It comes down to pitching, and it's come down to that almost every series this year. And if you would ask me a month ago what I thought about this, I'd be very worried when it comes to pitching. After what I saw this weekend, let's go. I am very confident in our pitchers. It's going to be fun, man. I love postseason college baseball. Postseason college baseball is honestly up there with March Madness, especially how it's ran and they put it all together. They do a good job. And it's just, college is different, man. It's so fun. The atmosphere and the culture is nothing compares to that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Bob says they are expanding it to 2,000 for the region.
Oh,
all
right, good.
Yeah. So let us know if you're going. I will not be there, but are you going to go, Caleb?
I will not be there. I'll be celebrating 5th wedding anniversary this weekend, so I should be able to tune into all the games, but kind of an important weekend for my wife and I. So we will be at home.
Congratulations, man. You getting away from the kid?
Nope. Well, for 3 hours.
There you go. Perfect. They're pure joy, man. They bring joy to the house. It's hard to be away from them, to be honest, in my world.
No, definitely.
But mine's not, the terrible twos yet. I hear that gets crazy. But anyways, congratulations.
Thank you.
This weekend, man, is going to be a blast. You're celebrating your 5th. I'm going to be in 5th anniversary, wedding anniversary. I'm going to be in the mountains, and the dogs are playing postseason baseball. Not just any postseason, national tournament in Santa Barbara. If you can make it out there, I would go out there. It's going to be fun. It's unlike anything else. Like, if you haven't been to postseason college baseball, you need to go. It's so fun. So, do you know what time the first pitch is? I didn't look.
First pitch is 6:00 Friday night, because I guess that is as long as the game before us, finishes at a reasonable time, because Oregon and San Diego. Oh, I guess that game starts at noon, so should be plenty of time. Got to convert these Eastern Standard Times to the actual time it's being played in. So yeah, they're starting at noon. So yeah, should be no issues for a 6:00 start time for Fresno State versus UC Santa Barbara.
Awesome, man. It's going to be a blast. And it's all on ESPN Plus.
It is. So yes, I will also have to find a login for that.
Yeah. All right, man. Anything else on the baseball side of things?
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot that we missed and could have mentioned, but I think we got the gist of it. And like you mentioned, postseason baseball is a ton of fun. I know 2011, Fresno State was in a regional at UCLA. I got to go to that one. Unfortunately, the Dogs lost first 2 games and we're done. But very, very cool environment, postseason baseball in general. So, and the West Coast needs to show up, because I don't know if you watched any of the selection process. I'd at least 60, or maybe not that many, 58 of the 64 teams, they're all either Texas and to the east. So definitely West Coast needs to show up.
So I've been all into, when it's postseason sports time, I tune in. I'm one of those fans. So I've been watching SEC tournament, Mountain West, ACC, Pac-12, all that. Last Pac-12 game, Arizona, USC, last Pac-12 game. Well, I think it'll come back, but we'll see. There's a freshman that steps out there for Vandy, and he's on the mound, throwing lights out. Look him up. He's from Cali. Come on, man. I get it. I know why they go. It's hard for us to keep guys here, especially if you're getting recruited by Vanderbilt baseball. They're legit. But come on. If you're good, they will find you. Mm-hmm. So, but I know now you're getting NIL money and you're making a bunch of money. There's a bunch of factors, I know, but I would just love it for guys to stay in the West Coast, because then the SEC can say, we're better than you. Yeah, with our kids.
That's right.
No, anyways. There was another thing I was going to say, but I forgot about it. But anyways, I just want to reemphasize Fresno State baseball. Thank you so much. This weekend was so fun. You're Mountain West champs, and we are all Mountain West champs. I like to say that, we're a part of the team. We cheer them on. We do this, Caleb. Kind of, not really. But boys, congratulations. Go kick butt in Santa Barbara. And don't listen to – I would encourage a team, don't even turn on your phone. Don't delete all social media. They're not talking to any media. Don't even look at them. Let's go win baseball games, baby. So congrats, you guys. We had a ton of fun watching you guys this entire season, and especially this past weekend. So congratulations. Red Wave, thank you. We still got more baseball, so we're not going anywhere. And then immediately after baseball, it's football time. And Caleb and I will start studying up on football. We got camp that we need to, there's going to be camp coming up that a lot of decisions are going to be made. Rankings will start coming out. I know people like to release their rankings later on when things are set in stone. I'm all about it. So we'll immediately jump into football, but let's go win some baseball games first. So Enjoy the rest of Memorial Day, you guys. Have a great week. Stay safe, stay healthy. God bless you guys. And as always, go dogs.
Go Dogs.